Hello, big beautiful world. Today we is going for a quick jaunt from our beloved Edwina May here at Tooradin. We're going to follow the coast around, or just go down over French Island and then chuck a hard left at Phillip Island and head on out to Leongatha. The whole thing shouldn't take 20 minutes. I wanted to fly in the simulator to remind myself that I'm a worthwhile human being. Now, what do I mean by that, ladies and gentlemen? I mean that yesterday I had a flight lesson, and in reality it was what I expected. So you'll have to come up with me and hear my mock total lament. We are taking up I think this is the Blackbox. I believe it is the SA Bulldog, the Scottish Aviation Bulldog. For any of you who remember the old Airfix kit. I think I've taken this up before, you cats might have seen it. We're going to give it the once round. The props are looking good, intake's looking good, leading edge looking good, everything's locked down, lights looking good, not cracked, ailerons looking good, flaps looking good, linkages looking good, pitot looking good, and elevator's looking good, rudder with the separate trim tab, which is rather cool, looking good. Yep, again doing the wobble on the aileron, nice trim on there's a little trim tab there, tiny bit of trim tab, very cool. Linkage is looking good, tyres looking good, lighting looking good. Top in, start her up. We'll swing it from there. We'll just bring the aircraft a little bit close. I must admit, I don't think I've seen any doco for this yet, for the Bulldog, so I'm not sure how to get rid of my instructor, but look, we'll leave her in because, you know, she's a bit awesome. Give ourselves some batteries. Don't really need the booster on yet, but we've got her on. Sorry, I should have checked the fuel, shouldn't I? We're on both. It defaults to both, unfortunately, which makes us all lazy. And how's our throttle looking? Yep. But we is good. Now, in an ideal world, let's give ourselves some mag.
Clear prop.
Some Magneto Man. Beautiful. Let her run up for a tick. Bring up some lighting. Our strobies, our navs. And we don't really need the heat on. Do we need... Oh, yeah, gives a look. Nah, all good, nothing I really want to... if I get desperate, I'll come to it, but I think we'll be alright for today. Don't even really want the comms on, do I? No, I do not. No. That's right. Oh, good. No, I should set all of that, but I'm not going to, because I want to complain. No, I don't want to complain. I do want to feel sorry for myself. So, what do I mean by that? Well, we'll just. What am I doing? Knock off the handy. Got a bit of pushback. Sorry, Tom, Terry, didn't see you there behind. We'll take off. We'll take off 4. Made the radio call. Get out of the road, you bullhead. Tooradin traffic, and we are heading up over to 4, and we'll get up in the air. Now why flying liar? What do you mean? What do you speak of when you speak of what do I mean by feeling sorry for myself? Well, you're just going to have to wait a bit longer. It's almost perverse. It's like some bizarre Microsoft Flight Simulator BDSM community, isn't it, where you can withhold information to the last moment. Look, that's just an image none of us want. Let's just taxi out, get up in the air, head out over the western port, and you'll know what I mean. Now, for all of you who have done flight lessons, actually that is one thing I genuinely love about the flight sim community, is the sheer diversity of the comments that I've been getting lately from all over the world, whether it be about movies, because I'm always banging on about movies and music whilst we're flying, right through to the individual properties, like feedback from the mechanics who used to work on some of the aircraft. Look, I'm really, the upshot of all of that being, I really love the comments you cats leave, so please go and leave them. If you're inclined, like and subscribe. If you find it worth your while to waste half an hour with me, I am genuinely appreciative. Thank you, all of you. So, the Bulldog, I love the note on it. Sounds great. I like the flight properties. They're really, really lovely, really gentle, really cool, and most importantly for today's flight, very much in the flavour of the excuse me please, of the aircraft I'm learning in, which is a fly synthesis Texan, not to be confused with the T6 Texan or any of those puppies, or the Texan Serb, but the fly synthesis unit out of Italy. Very, very nice to learn in. All steam gauge, oh, not all steam gauges, but yeah, GPS and what am I saying? Garmin in the centre. But yeah, just going to pull up and we'll lock up the canopy. Rock and roll, we're locked, we're good to roll. Get her out on the centre line. Ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you that today, as with yesterday, the weather was not this beautiful autumn preset. In fact, I've turned off live weather, because the weather is frankly crap today, as it was yesterday. And I will tell you all about that just about. Just about. Just about. Just about now. So the story of yesterday is as follows. I was booked in for the lesson yesterday, which was terrific, and in the morning, and I knew the weather was going to be pretty dreadful this weekend, so I called ahead. I called the airfield in the morning, and luckily the instructor himself picked up, and he said, yeah, no, we're good to roll, because we were first cab off the rank. So we got down there. I got down there at about 9:30 in the morning, and it was showing about 5 knots on the crosswind, but you could tell it was coming up, and it's a grey, miserable day with the rain just waiting in the wings. So we get up, and it was flying for first couple of 100 feet, and then from 100 up to 3,500 feet over this training ground to our left, we were knocked from pillar to post by the turbulence. It was, look, the truth of it is, if I banged on about it too much, everybody would just go, hey, you're tripping, that's nothing to worry about. You've probably all seen far worse. But you've got to remember, I'm learning again for the first time after 30 years. So you know, it was getting worse, and yesterday was a straight and level learning day, and it really proved to be interesting. I did get a couple of runs at it, and I was a bit slow. So basically I was really crap at the lesson because I just wasn't focusing. We ended up coming back in after about 40 minutes, and the instructor was super cool. Very, very cool. He said, I can tell, you know, we're straight and level, for all of you who know it, and most of you will, of course. You're not really glued to the instruments, you're glued to the horizon, and the instruments you're only glancing at to make sure you got everything in check. But the really fascinating thing was because of the turbulence, for those 3,000 odd feet, I was just glued to the instruments. So I was not a good student yesterday. I was frankly pretty shit. And he sensed that, he knew it, obviously it's his job. And I really feel sorry for him. But I really felt just shy of defeated by the turbulence. I mean, it's kind of mitigated by the fact that even as we were coming in, we were supposed to come back in on 22 because we had the northerly blow coming down. But even as we flew out, did a flyover to make sure the airfield was clean, the wind picked up and it just turned, it did about a 90-degree switch, and suddenly we were up between 15 and 20 on the knots, and so we had to switch around at the last moment to runway 4 to come in, and it was interesting. We had to do quite a bit of side slip to come in, quite a bit of crab, and you've got to remember this is on one of these, so a tricycle undercarriage, fixed tricycle undercarriage. So yeah, it was, and the truth of it is I wanted to go up in the turbulence, obviously to experience, to put myself to the test, because I'm an old man and you just don't know if you can do that stuff anymore. But that's alright, I survived the ordeal, and in fact I did enjoy it for the most part. I just didn't enjoy actually being responsible for us both, I think, at that point. So nonetheless, we came out, and even as my partner and I pulled away, she looked at the windsock. She said, "What's that showing now?" Yeah, so it was gusting over 20 knots an hour by the time we drove out of the airfield. So we got out. They did can the rest of the flights for that day, by the way, so they're a very responsible crew. And a great airfield to learn on. But it is, I won't say notorious, but well known for its turbulence, because let's do a quick circuit. As you can see, this is French Island right here. For any of you who have caught previous vids, you have heard me bang on about them. But as you can see, there's a lot of water between us and our gentle little airfield over yonder, just up yonder. So yeah, it's subject to a bit of bumpage, and boy did I feel it deeply yesterday. Like I said, I was pretty average on the learning, but I'm up again next Saturday, so to get back on the saddle, get back on the horse, and we'll swing it from there. Leave a comment below if you've had similar experiences, even if you just want to encourage me or discourage me. By all means, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear your own adventures. What have I done? Yeah, this thing's got quite a bit of grunt. This is a real sweetheart. Like the Fuckable 189, the Piaggio 189. I really like the layout. You do have the GPS on there. I think it's actually, let's trim. Did I even trim? I didn't even trim, people. So just clicking that's going to give you GPS. Couldn't find any manual on it all. that's all good. Blackbox, they did a great job. I think they did the Islander and Trilander and a few others besides. So anyway, that's my little complaint. I was feeling sorry for myself after yesterday's lesson. Just bloody awful. I was pathetic. But live and learn, eh? Live and learn. And a bit down. So, what's on the horizon, flight sim wise? Well, there's still a Spartan executive coming up from INI builds. One of the ones I saw up on FS Elite was the DH83, I think, the Foxmoth. That looks pretty awesome. Can't wait till that's released. And yeah, it's like candy, isn't it? We never have enough, or I'm especially guilty of not having enough of these cool aircraft to get around in, get a feel for. But yeah, the Foxmoth, the Maul's been released. I'll avoid that. I remember, do any of you guys remember a thing called Flight Unlimited? It was from EDOS, I believe. You only got two primary areas. From memory, I think it was Seattle or SeaTac and SF, San Francisco, to fly around in. But that was state of the art back in the late 90s. And the Maul was introduced in that from memory to do bush trips with. I know a lot of people have been hanging for the Maul to be introduced to Simland. But yeah, I'm happy with the Kid Fox and the other high wings we've got. And in terms of these little trainers, I'm happy with this. I don't have the Chipmunk yet. Maybe I should get the Chipmunk eventually. When I have enough money, we'll see. Once I save up my pennies, as it were. So there's San Remo, there's Phillip Island out to the right there. So I'm just looking for traffic. So we swing around to the east. But I will say this for yesterday's lesson. I am glad I went up, just in terms of challenging oneself, but also in terms of it was pretty. Melbourne, down this part of the world, West Gippsland, is really really throwing on the colours at the moment, and I felt well rewarded. I just felt well rewarded. It was quite beautiful, colour-wise. Just a rich farmland beneath us and all the rest of it. Yes, I'll start again, shall I? MSFS does a great job with the colour palette and so on, and of course with the NVIDIA card and the colour swap outs that you can have for all the options there. But I'm glad I went up yesterday, and I am looking forward to the winter lessons where things subside. Here in the summer, autumn, summer, spring, we get the massive winds up. So we get this, strangely enough, we get this period throughout winter where things settle down, and this learning area to the north along the bay there is just wonderfully rich. So hopefully I will shape up to be a good student yet. We shall see, we shall see. So I've got the Foxmoth coming up, which kind of excites me. What else excites me? The Spartan. Oh, of course, the Bugatti from Red Wing, whenever that's going to get released. And I'm hoping, as I always bang on about, I'm hoping somebody does a similar layout to the Bugatti, of course, is the Heinkel 119 with the prop driven through a central shaft that the pilot and co-pilot sit either side of. So yeah, that would be cool if somebody out there, I've reiterated this so many times, I feel more ridiculous than I normally do. More than, yeah, Michael 119 people, get on with it, get onto it. But I do love this area. For any of you who are into linguistics or indigenous mythology and so on, First Peoples mythology, this is the area of the Bunyip. I think it's the Wari-Warung people, or Wari-Warung people, who, though the Bunyip doesn't, the myth of the Bunyip, which is a swamp creature, doesn't originate from this area. This is the area where it's most populous. I think it's the Wemby people up on the Murray River who there you go. Now you're coming in with the turbulence. Much more like it. I knew you'd be hiding eventually. I knew it. That's what I wanted. These gentle rolling hills, they're deceptive as hell. They're a bastard to walk around, but they are gorgeous. And I know this because I used to work for a couple of mining companies up in New South Wales, and we'd have to do the 3D prints over farmland, non-intrusive mining to determine what the deposits look like beneath the soil, and it was then that the companies had determined if they wanted to go ahead. And the farmers would get a nice drink out of it, as they say in Australia, a bit of a bonus out of it because they'd let us onto the land, and we'd run out these cables uphill and over dale, and the days can be long and exhausting walking over hills like this, but it put put muscles on your neighbours', I'll say legs. Tend to be a bit more crude with that sort of thing. What else? The mole, the fox moth. Yeah, the fox moth looks sexy. The Bugatti 100 from Red Wings, still in the wings, still happening, hopefully. And they've got the Latte Coeur, haven't they? They've got that coming out as well. Again, I haven't heard anything to that effect in recent times, but now it's funny because I look at the viz, I look at the horizon and the viz on this Bulldog, and it's pretty good on the straight and level. Pretty good indeed. But on the Texan that I'm learning, you've actually got it's almost like a nose down attitude. This is the kind of forward viz you've got in straight and level. It's quite extraordinary. Let's let it settle back in. Really quite extraordinary. And another thing I noticed in the aircraft I've been learning in, you might have two models quite close together. But yesterday I flew a superseded model of the one I've been learning in, and it was amazing how different everything from the control weightiness or mushiness right through to the layout differing substantially from one model to the next. So it's great to be exposed to these different aircraft. And it's also good in many respects to come home and then recreate flights in the simulator, because you think, okay, so now I better understand what the instructor was saying. So hats off to the Microsoft and Asobo crews for giving us a simulator that actually translates those lessons really, really well. I know, well, actually correct me if I'm wrong, World, but it was I believe, elsewhere in the world, in America from, I think it was MSFS98 onwards, you could actually use it to assess, use it in your real world FAA, getting your general license. That's never happened here in Australia. CASA is, you know, the Civil Aviation Safety Authority is really very, very strict, very no nonsense, very no bullshit, very strict here. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let's have a look. Yeah, cool. It's as I was hoping. Yeah, pretty sure that and in fact we might even be right on pattern. You could do that. So I know that we ourselves can't do it here, but I am grateful that we can at least in our own imaginations practice so, you know, a fair chunk of simulation. Pretty sure that's our little baby right there, isn't it? We'll do a flyover. Let's make sure. I do love this part of the world. There you go. So even, okay, so the word bunyip, referring to those swamp monsters again. One, Tooradin itself, where we took off out of, that also means bunyip in a different Barang dialect. We've got some cool names down around this way. Nanagoon, which means blackfish, I think. Karambara over here, a really gorgeous little town set in the rolling hills just before Leongatha. So just on the lookout for this puppy now. I'm sure it's got to be over yonder. Karambara sounds awesome. It's an awesome sounding word, but unfortunately it means maggot, I think. So not at all so hot once translated. But ain't that living? Good if you're a fisherman, given that, you know, maggots are crucial, or larvae are really good for fishing bait. But yeah, a bit on the nose otherwise. We've got the next, is it the world update dropping next, or? I believe that's us. Beautiful. Got the world update dropping in a couple of weeks, which is cool. I think it's Micronesia, isn't it? Or is it just a tech update next? We'll give ourselves full flaps. Gee whiz, Leongatha has some really skinny runway. Don't try this at home, kids. Really, just don't. Pitiable. Pitiable flying wire. But hey, that's living. We're down, we're safe. We're going to go in and we're going to enjoy a coffee in sunny Leongatha. Who knows, might even come on, flaps. It's quite a bit to get this sucker moving, curiously enough. We're going to go and grab a coffee in sunny Leongatha and enjoy the beautiful autumn light. Like I said, because truth is, it's pissing down here still. I think we've got rain for a few days now. It's set in for a while. But it's all good. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. If you're tired of my rambling, leave a comment to that effect. It's not as if I'm going to shut up anytime soon. But, you know, one person to another. I still love ya. I'll always love ya. You know that. My love knows no bounds for all of you. Okay, now I'm just talking shit. I'm going to get off the air. Listen, big beautiful world. I want you, each and every one of you, to have an absolutely, again, I'm going to be a naughty. I'm going to be a very naughty. I'm just going to cut across to the ramp. Why? Because I can't be asked. I'm going to take it across the swamp, damage the steering column. Yeah, I'm a bad human being. I'm dreadful. And on top of that, just to be a real nuisance to everyone, in the policy, in my ongoing policy of fly it like you've stolen it, fly it like you've nicked it, I'm just going to park it here where none of the coppers can find me. Right, handy on. Mixture, go back to full. Come off, mags off. Yep, feeling rough and ready. No particular order. And don't forget, you got to remember, get away from you, kooky kid. Okay, so thanks instructor, thanks for coming along, or hostage or whatever, I don't know. But now I'm going to run away, and if anyone comes looking for me, tell them I was heading west. Alright, big beautiful world, stay safe, stay sane, thanks for listening to the shit I come out with. Have yourself a great weekend. Bye.